The most basic type of camera moves technically don't move the camera at all. These are the moves done while the camera is on a tripod head. This include pan moves, where the camera rotates left to right, and tilt moves, where the camera is tilted up and down. Pan and tilt moves are helpful for staying with moving action. Notice here as Tayani leans over, we do a simple pan-tilt combo in order to stay with her. Another common use of pan and tilt moves is to reveal objects in the scene. This can be useful in comedy, such as in National Lampoon's Vacation. Clark Griswold is trying to deal with a used car salesman while we cut away to his car getting demolished. Clark wants to show a strong hand, but then we pan over, and there's his car. This type of reveal also happens a few times in the classic thriller Cape Fear. Gregory Peck plays a prosecutor who previously put away bad guy Max Cady, who has just been released from prison. After a regular day at work, the prosecutor gets in his car, a hand enters the frame, grabs the keys, and we tilt up and pan to the left to reveal Max Cady. Later, we see the prosecutor getting on a plane, and we do a straight pan this time, no tilting up and down, to reveal Max Cady, just watching. Now, when you pan across something this quickly, where point A is clear and point B is clear, but the stuff in the middle is all lost in motion blur, this is called a swish pan. This is a device frequently used by Wes Anderson, such as here in the Grand Budapest Hotel. Swish pans could also be used as a transition from one shot to another, where the cut happens in the motion blur. You can see a quick example of this in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, when Scott fights his first evil ex. Swish pan transitions show us the stunned reactions of his friends. Panning and tilting are also frequently used to give a sense of space, almost kind of like an enhanced establishing shot. This is especially common when filmmakers are trying to convey how vast the world is, like with the sprawling deserts in this panning shot in Lawrence of Arabia. And sometimes with smaller landscapes, a panning shot can be used to allow the audience to take in a massive amount of detail, such as in this shot in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. This type of move tends to make the world feel bigger than it is, because we can't see it all in one shot. Now, in actuality though, we could see it in one shot. We could just put a wider lens on the camera and back up, no big deal. But by putting on a tighter lens and panning, you create the sensation there's just so much to see. Because again, the camera lens represents the perspective of the audience. And when we have a sense of awe at the beauty of a place, we turn our heads, typically kind of slowly like this, as we take everything in. And speaking of turning your head, this is why, to me, panning and tilting, they aren't as emotionally powerful as moving the camera. The way I see it, panning and tilting is like looking around. And just like looking around, it's great for gathering information about a location. It's kind of cerebral to me. But when we're scared, we want to move away. And when we're feeling a connection to someone, we want to move closer. Movement is where the emotion is. So let's spend the next couple of movies digging into the most common and potent camera moves.